Okay, so I'm in the Venetian Mall of Macau, and this video is going to be talking about, should you travel to Bali and Thailand. I was actually there quite recently, and those two videos are quite popular when I put them up there, coronavirus, and I'm going to show you a little bit. Let's go check out the room. Okay, I'm the content creator for this channel. If you like what I'm doing, just subscribe and hit the like button. I'm going to show you a little bit. So I'm in Macau right now. I'm in the Venetian casino. Things are closed down. But since I was recently in Indonesia and Philippines and Thailand, I just want to talk about those a little bit. Thailand's numbers at 50. They're pretty steady. But I'm going to give a couple warnings about things. Philippines is now at 23. Indonesia is at, I think it's at 16, I think. But anyways, and Malaysia is now at 118. I was in Malaysia last Wednesday, and there was only 18 as of 5 days ago, and now there's 118. So the reason I'm saying that is because things happen very quickly. So let's say that you fly to Bali, and actually I want to talk about Bali as well. But the things change really quickly, and I'm going to go into that a little bit. I'm going to keep the camera out so you can see what I'm seeing in front of me. How people that you see are wearing masks, and how few people are actually around. So we had a temporary pause here, and I'm going to talk more about should you travel to Southeast Asia, basically. So that includes Philippines, Thailand, and Bali, Indonesia. I'm actually going to look for a way out of here. So I'm in this casino. It's almost nobody around. It's like there's a guitar player. So these are the reasons that I think that you probably shouldn't travel. One, they say for the longest time Indonesia had no cases, and then suddenly there was a couple of cases in Depok, which is a small town. Not a small town, but it's like south of Jakarta, about an hour or 2 hours with the traffic. It might be 2 hours from Jakarta city, so maybe a little closer to South Jakarta. Actually, you can see everybody here is all wearing masks everywhere, so that's required. You can't get on a bus without a mask. You can't enter places without a mask. So anyways, so that means that there are cases that's happening there. They're just not catching them. And I read that in Bali they don't have the facilities, so they can't really test you very well. Anyways, they don't have the capacity or the testing equipment. They have to send it to Jakarta. So and then the reason that I'm not so sure about those numbers being very accurate in Bali and Indonesia is because when you're looking at all the other people, there's a person in Australia that just had coronavirus, and they were in Bali, so it's like, so they must have got it from somebody else that was in Bali, right? So I think they're just not catching the numbers properly. Let's see. Yeah, I'm surprised there's still tourists coming in here. Usually this is all crowded, like very, very crowded. People are still checking in. There's a check-in over there. So that's why I'm kind of like, I'm not so sure if those numbers are right, because there's cases of people who are going through Bali or in Bali, and then they go somewhere else and they become somebody else's numbers. And then also, like when you look at all the people that are going everywhere, like when I look at the things every day and just see, like who has coronavirus and who not, like I'm watching the numbers go up. And one of the things that you'll notice is there'll be like a little chart of who recorded it. It's kind of beautiful in this spot. This is the Venetian. So they'll record, where they came from, and they'll be like, oh yeah, somebody has it now in Burkina Faso because they were in Italy for a couple of days, So basically, like people who are moving around are the ones that's bringing it to places, and then once it gets there, it festers. Then Seattle, like suddenly there was, not just Seattle, but Seattle is a big example because it's the biggest one in the United States. But like it's just kind of festering for a couple of weeks, and then suddenly you have like thousands and 1,000 cases there. Or Italy, right now there's like at 8,000 or 9,000, but maybe even a week ago it's like 1,000. These things are just kind of festering in these places. Like you know, they move around by people traveling. And I'm kind of convinced at this particular moment in time that, you know, places like Bali and, you know, Sukhumvit, Bangkok, you know, they're just like, there's people that are transmitting, you know, they're traveling all over the place. They're going through airports, they're coming from different zones, you know, and then they arrive in these places and they might just transmit it onward and they get on another flight and then suddenly they're a statistic in Australia, you know, or a statistic in the UK, you know, some other place. But actually, you know, they went through these places like Bali and Thailand. And I don't know if Bali and Thailand, you know, like, I don't know, I'm gonna guess that people aren't, maybe they're not testing, you know, maybe they get sick and they're just not testing it there, you know, because you can get stuck there, right? Like, get stuck and you're not so sure, especially if there's inadequate, I got to be honest, I was in Indonesia and I was coughing quite a bit and I was like, oh, should I get tested, you know, like in this country? Because, you know, there's like 0 cases, maybe they're not really prepared, you know, maybe they're gonna put me in some quarantine with a bunch of other people who are sick and I'm not, and I'm just coughing. You know, there's all these things go in your mind. So you know, I posted a couple of videos. I keep posting them about you know, coronavirus in different places in Southeast Asia where I was recently at, and that's kind of my conclusion at the moment. You know, that's what I'm kind of thinking at this moment in time. Like, if you have some travel plans, maybe just, you know, I don't know, you might want to reconsider it a little bit, because I do think that these things are moving around from people who are moving around. So you know, if you stay put, it's definitely safer. So just my own thoughts. Yeah, actually, Malaysia was at 18 when I was there on Wednesday. Now it's at 118. So there's 100 cases in the last 6 days. So so that kind of shows what's happening, right? Like, you don't know. And also, I just also want to say, like, you don't know, like, these things can be on the ban list. I'm gonna go through some construction. I'm gonna try to catch a bus over here. But you know, like, so suddenly, like, South Korea, like, now if you have a Korea in your passport, or like here, Macau, there's 0 cases, by the way. But if you have it in your passport, you're not going to be, there's a lot of places you're not going to be traveling to. And same with South Korea. So now suddenly people who, you know, have a South Korea stamp, they're not going to be traveling now. That's kind of interesting. Just all this construction here. This is kind of the backside of this casino. But I used to be able to walk down here and it was different than this. But now it's like this, so looks like they're doing a lot of construction, moving in and out, moving something. You can see all the scrapes everywhere. Anyways, yeah, and actually Macau, you just saw the inside of the casino. There's hardly anybody around. So, but when I was in Bali and Bangkok, there's a lot of people around, and I don't know if that's good or bad, because you know, it's hard to say if yeah, I don't know. Like here we're all under shutdown. So Macau's under shutdown. It's kind of hard to get in. It's hard to get out. There's no ferries to Hong Kong anymore. There's just very limited options. And it's like, yeah, I don't like it, but at the same time, I'm actually in probably one of the safest places right now, even though it's like, I have this on my passport, I can't travel lots of places. But anyways, so just to kind of sum up my thoughts about the coronavirus and if you should travel or not, I would say if you can cancel, maybe you should, because I think that's kind of where, that's kind of sums it all up right now. Anyways, I'm gonna try to get to another part of Macau, but I don't know if I can do it from here. See where these ones go. So I might just conclude it here for now. Macau, empty buses and quiet places. This is the Cotai Strip. Don't really see many people around there either. Okay.